What's up YouTube, Cap over here, and welcome to the Cap side. Today I'm going to bring you a UU battle with Grape, the owner of the Atlanta Braviarys. So, looking upon his team, I immediately thought that Process was going to start, and right away I knew that I wanted to start off with my tag Explosion, just because I want to force him to make a play that either he has to make or doesn't want to make. So, a little 101 with Cap right there. Anywho, get on to the battle. As the Process does come out, he immediately withdraws, which is awesome because I'm just going to go for an eruption, see how much damage I can get off, and Victorian's going to come on out of here, as this damage is going to become quite comedic even. It's going to be laughable damage. After the leftovers, this does nothing. It does absolutely nothing in the long run. So Victorian's a really bulky Pokemon, and Coca-Cola will not enjoy Victorian later on in the battle. So I'm just going to send out my Raspberry, as he is assault vested and can take anything this wants to dish out. So he makes a really good prediction here, goes for the Ice Beam, and Raspberry just eats that up, takes it out to the park on a nice warm sunny day, just eats it all up. I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb, hoping I can do something, but he goes for the Safe Protect, and he sees that I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb, and it's his option to stay in or whether to switch out, but at the end of the day, he switched out and goes into Egg Mode, the Infernape, which is such a big threat and a big thorn to my side. So getting the Sludge Bomb was really, really crucial, just because it did so much, and later on I'll realize that this is Life Orb Infernape, little spoiler, as Spritzy was a candidate to take down or to take a close combat, and she takes it so well, so good, such a bulky Pokemon, so clutch at times. And there's the Life Orb damage, as this Infernape is at -1 on both defense stats. So Coca-Cola comes on through. I was predicting that the Aggron would come on through, but he opts to stay in, it goes for the Overheat, and he does some damage on my Explosion, which now he won't get a full powered eruption off. And Infernape's at a really bad level 4 damage, and Victorian comes on through, and once again Victorian is gonna laugh at my eruption just because it's really mean. It's a mean Victorian. It's purple, but it's mean. As the leftovers will recover whatever damage I did to it, and it's little damage, so he has no point of switching out, and I'm just going to switch into my V, as V is my special wall that he soon will discover. And V takes it really good, takes about 40, gets the burn though, that really sucks, and it really does put a weird plot to my plans. So I'm going to take the burn damage, which does about 20 or so, as he goes for the Protect. Once again, he's going to scout what I'm going to do. It's not a bad move to scout, but I'm just going to go for the Wish. And over here, gets his leftover damage, and he's almost back to full health. If not, he is at almost full health. And I'm just going to receive some burn damage, as he figured it would be a good point to go for a Scald over here and try to finish me off, but I knew I could live it. If he didn't get a crit, then I'm good, as I go get my aromatherapy off, get rid of the burn. V's starting to feel that she needs some little spawn time, so gets some aromatherapy off and gets the Wish off. V's feeling pretty good, feeling all refreshed and whatnot after a long day of taking close combats all the time. So Victorian gives V a favor and gives it some water, and once again it does get burnt. So the water was a bit too hot, V doesn't appreciate it, and I'm just going to go for another Wish, as V's going to take another self day. And I'm at 43, but I can live another Scald, as I'm just going to eat this right up. V's so bulky. As I disabled the Scald, I want to get some progress in this battle, as I'm not fond of rinse and repeat. So I'm going to get some burn damage. At this point, he has to either switch out or go for a Wish, and he does opt for the Wish. At this point, I knew he was going to switch into the Infernape, because the Infernape was at lower down, like it would be good to get Infernape really back to full health. So sorry about that. That was a bit of mumble jumble right there. As Egg Mode comes out now, and I haven't revealed that I have an attack on this Spritzy, so it's gonna catch this Moonblast, and I'm hoping it takes it down, as Spritzy puts in the work. After 2 days at the spa, Spritzy decides to flex and get his wish off. So all in all, good day's work for Spritzy. Whenever Spritzy gets a kill, you know there's gonna be some dramatic consequences and a big talk. So I'm gonna withdraw my Spritzy. Spritzy does not flaunt on this metal beast, but I'm just gonna send out mine, as they're just staring at each other, trying to mimic each other, and they can't tell if they're looking into a mirror until now. One is Omega already, so he's like, oh, I'm a lot better than you now. And he takes the Iron Head really good. Really good. So I'm just gonna Mega and turn into my Mega Aggron. As now we're both really big guys. Really big people going on. As he goes for the Earthquake, it does a decent amount of damage. Even with the filter. Or is filter thing? No, never mind. I'll just set up my stealth box as he goes for the Thunder Wave. I went for my own Thunder Wave actually, hoping that I wouldn't get paralyzed. But I get paralyzed. And that really sucks. I'm okay with one paralyzed. That's Pokemon for you. And the Earthquake does still a decent amount of damage, and I get paralyzed again, and I'm like, come on, Watermelon, you gotta start moving, you gotta start doing something. As he predicts me to switch out, and I get paralyzed for the third time. Third time was not a charm for me. Not at all. Now I'm getting a bit bitter here, because I get paralyzed for the fourth time. The fourth time in a row. How many times has that ever happened? So I figured I'd switch out. He was gonna go for an Earthquake, and he makes the right play and goes into Iron Head, and he read me like a book right there. Page is wide open. And yeah, I was scared at that thing. As I'm just gonna go for a Choice Spec Thunderbolt, hoping it would take down the Mega Aggron. But he switches into Frostlass, and Frostlass takes Stealth Rock damage, which he has no more Focus Sash. So the Thunderbolt will easily take out the Frostlass. As Heisenbug, which is such an awesome name. Heisenbug does yeah. I'll always remember that name. I'll remember that name. So I figured I'd sack off my Watermelon because I want to get my Goodra in at full HP. As he goes for another Protect. Protect seems to be a very key thing in here. And he goes for a Bug Buzz, connects, and I get my big guy's gone. He's gone. He's had a good day. Just being paralyzed for 4 turns in a row. That's okay. At this point, Heisenbug does outspeed all of my guys. Thankfully, I have Raspberry with the Salt Vest, and Raspberry enjoys taking those hits like a boss. So it does a decent amount of damage, but it is Life Orb, the second Life Orb Pokemon on the field that we've seen on his team. So a Thunderbolt will take him down. He cannot switch out. Heisenbug, you scared me. But what scares me even more is this Crobat. My team has been wrecked multiple times by Crobats just because they're so fast and so strong. You put a Choice Scarf on it, outspeeds everything. You put a Choice Band, it's super scary. So be wary of Crobats. So I opt for V to take the hit, and he does take it, which I'm so surprised. It made my day, but unfortunately V is burnt and will go down. So V did a good job in the battle. He took the hit well. So I figured I'd just go for Emby, force him to switch out or force him to take the Sucker Punch. At which point he opts not to take the Sucker Punch and switches out into Titania. And I go for the Sucker Punch, as you guys see, and of course it fails because he didn't attack me. So I'm going to switch into my Chatters. I was hoping he didn't have Stone Edge, and I totally sort of forgot it did, but I avoided. Chatters is dipping and dodging, and that sort of did matter, and I'm really sorry that it did miss, because as you guys can see with this damage, it mattered. If he connected with both Stone Edges, he would have taken down Chatters, and maybe his chances would have increased, or would have been more in his favor, or the battle might have been very different. So Chatters is going to take it down. Scatman comes in, takes more rock damage. I figure he's going to go for a Brave Bird just because that's what this thing likes to do. Brave Bird everything in sight. So the Brave Bird comes in. I figured I wanted a Pokemon that could take a Brave Bird at full health, and with the recoil damage, it would take himself down. So that's always good. Emby did a good job of taking that hit, or he did a good job of not taking that hit, as hard as that is to believe. That's what I wanted ultimately. So his last Pokemon comes in, the Vaporeon, which has lasted this whole battle and has been such a headache to me. So I sent up my Chatters, which will scare him, as he does have the Leaf Storm, is Choice Spec, and he does Protect to get that little bit of HP back. Maybe he can live 1 HP and set off an Ice Beam or something. But over here we'll realize, or we'll see that Leaf Storm takes out the Vaporeon. It's Choice Spec, it's Stab, it's Modest, it's quite the scary thing. So really good game, Grape. I'm looking forward to the RBL with you, and I'm sure you're gonna play really good and place really high up in the stands because you're a really good battler. So little thank you there. Thank you to the Atlanta Braviarys for that preseason battle. And if you guys are aware that the RBL preseason is happening right now, and the big draft where we pick our Pokemon will happen this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So be sure to follow us on Twitter, subscribe, get all the updates to the Toronto Staraptors, sorry about that, Toronto Staraptors and the Dallas Armies, as that is my co-host Crump's team. So look forward to that, and with that, look forward to the RBL. Make sure you guys stay tuned. There's a description down below of what the RBL is, the little page. You can support a team, do whatever you want. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So with that, I'm starting to ramble on. With that, this is Cap signing off. And suddenly I realized this thing has Harvest. That's right. +2 in 1 turn.
We've got the evolutions out in here. Now, I'm inclined to think he's gonna curse, because why not?